Okay, so this is the tutorial for using the grandparents grandchildren reindeer ornament. It's a little more involved, but you can learn a lot from this tutorial, but you will have to bear with me because Cricut Design Space just made an update and the interface is a little bit different, so it's not quite the same as it used to be. So I'm first going to ungroup everything because everything's grouped up multiple times. I tried to group it in ways that would be beneficial and that will come in the right size. So before you do anything, make sure that your circle is the right size. So say you want, I just added a circle, say you wanted a 4-inch. You make sure, even before you ungroup, make sure it's this size. Just maybe send this to the back and then resize over it to make sure it's the right size. I'm just going to delete it because I know it's already at my 3-inch, the size that I needed. Okay, so this is the optional background in case you're using a clear ornament and you do want a background. So I'm just going to delete that for now because I don't need it. The script font here I used is called Master Break and it's available at dafont.com, but you can use any font you choose. As well, the little font for the names is called Subscriber and it's available at dafont.com for free. If you don't want to download a new font, you can use this alphabet. You can ungroup it and use it. It's just a little bit harder. And also you have different dates if you want to change the 2022. I'm just going to delete those for now. I'm also going to grab these. I find it a little easier to work with if you make it a bit bigger. So I just made it a bit bigger. I'm going to ungroup. I actually had to ungroup twice, unfortunately, because I had grouped them. Oops. See, they're still grouped together. You just ungroup that, and then this will be separate. We already got the and, so you don't need that. So you would ungroup all of these. Sometimes you have to ungroup a few times and just grab the letters you need. And if you need a letter more than once, just copy and paste, and then you can just move it over. Okay, and actually, sorry, I need this again. So I'm going to copy and paste that, and again, move it over. So the easiest way I find to put things together, so grab all that. You are going to want to align it to the top so they're all even, and then align again and distribute horizontally. So that makes it so that they're all even. And now you are going to want to, you can either weld to make it so there's less things there. Just takes a minute. There you go. So then it's just one word. Makes it a little easier. And you can make it smaller and you can fit it in here as and delete grandma and grandpa or whatever and put Nana. I'm just going to move that back. And then I'm just going to delete that because that was just for a sample. And you do the same thing using the names if you do not download the new font. So after you're done with that, make it easier on yourself and delete all that. Okay, next I'm going to zoom in. It's way easier if I zoom in, except I have some trouble zooming in sometimes on this, but we'll give it a try. There we go, it's just a little slow. I'm going to zoom in actually one more time because it's much easier to work with when it's a bigger size. So as you can see, you can change the number of reindeer here and the little bows are optional. So if you have more reindeer, you will have to group everything and make it small, like all the reindeer smaller, and then add this little guy. But for this tutorial, I'm not actually going to move anything around because I don't want to make it too long. But again, you can delete the bow, you can add a bow, duplicate and copy it. And then when you're done, you can just delete these guys. You don't really need them. And the same for the last name. It's called Master Break. It's a free again. So you can put the last name in and then make it the color you want. So you can make it to match the red of the other colors. And then one other thing you have to do is you have to weld it together. So then that takes it, or otherwise you get funny cut lines. And then again, you size it down and you can delete the name that's there and then put this in. So that's just for reference. Okay, so now once you have the whole thing, or sorry, you're going to do the names too. You are going to pick either a font you want or, oops, I'm going to do that and it's going to give me subscriber. I'm going to type in the name. I'm going to make it the right color. I use all lowercase in this one. And then before you do anything, I would weld it together so that you don't have too many letters. And then you are going to select, you're going to size it and you can put the name in. And the best thing to do is just copy and paste and then put another name for each one. And then you're going to line them up underneath. Again, you can use your aligning tools to make it easier to make sure they're aligned to the top and bottom. And that's how you do that. So the hard part is making this all print. So it's all sized out. You got the right thing. I'm going to delete this so it doesn't get confusing. So then you don't have white. And you're going to select everything. And if you can see the little reindeers over here, I tried to find easier ways to do this. I looked for videos, but there's no easy way to do this. So you're just going to have to go and ungroup everything. I wish this was more straightforward. So all the grandparents' reindeer need to be ungrouped. Okay, I know that's really annoying, but make sure, okay, so nothing is grouped anymore. That's important. Okay, so the next thing you're going to do, you have to select all of the red layers. So unfortunately, I tried to use the color sync and see if I could color select from there. Did not work. So you're going to have to put shift, or sometimes maybe on a Mac it's control, and you're going to select all of the red. So make sure you're holding that shift button down. And for some reason, my computer brings me right back up and I have to keep scrolling down. I don't know if that's the same for everybody's computer. Hopefully not. And then you have to go until you find the next one that's not selected and shift and click. I wish there was an easier way to do this. I looked and looked and looked and there was no easier way to do this. And then this is also, so you select every red layer. And I'm just going to double check to make sure I got all of the red. And now the easiest way to do it is weld it. So there you go. That's awesome. Your welding layer is just one layer. So now you're going to do the exact same thing and you are going to select all of the black layers. Oh, it's annoying. Make sure you're hitting shift. You might have to click on and off shift because it sometimes doesn't let you scroll down if you're still on shift, but just shift before you click on the layers. Oh, this is annoying, eh? Okay, so you go all the way down, and I'm just going to double check. The names, I would weld them together before you do that. So I selected all the names as well, and Grandma and Grandpa, because they're all black, and just make sure I have everything. And I'm going to hit combine. I'm going to weld those together as well. Okay, so it gets a lot easier at this point. Now I'm going to select all the reindeer faces. I shift, click all the reindeer faces, and I'm just going to double check I got them all. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to weld. Those come up to the top, but you can fix that later. And then you're going to do the same with all the antlers. Shift and click and hold them all down. Make sure you get everything. I think the new update should make it so you can just select a color and then weld them all together. So you're going to combine and you're going to weld. And good, that's a lot easier. I'm just going to delete that. That's from before. So now you have it all in an easier format. I'm going to move this to the back though, because then you can see what you're doing. And I'm going to move that in front so you can see the little thing in front of the antlers. Okay, so now your file is finally ready to cut. Make sure you save frequently just in case you miss something. And I'm going to hit make it. And as you can see, all of the colors, they're in the right space, so it's easier to, so when you weed, it's all together and you can layer them separately. If you need any information, you can find videos on YouTube on how to layer vinyl, but that is the tutorial on how to use the file.